Hey folks, welcome back to the Beer Ranch Garage, and today we have a 2011-ish, 2012-ish Cadillac CTS that we're going to be working on. It's actually a family member's car, and they think that there's a wheel speed sensor issue. So we're going to get that diagnosed and taken care of. So come on in and let's get to work. So first things first, we're going to pop in our Autel MK808 and see if we can get some data on the wheel speed sensor issue. So the reason the owner suspects a wheel speed sensor issue is because the car is complaining about traction control and StabiliTrak. It doesn't have a check engine light, but it has warning messages on the display about traction control. Certainly a 6-speed automatic. Actually, this car does come in a manual. I think the 2-door coupe does. I'm not sure about the 4-door, but it is a option. It is in fact a 2012 with a 3-liter V6. And we'll go ahead and do an auto scan. So nothing on the ECM, nothing on the TCM, which is great. 2 faults on the electronic brake control module. And that's probably where our issue is. And mind you, this car is 2012, so it's like 13 years old now, but it's got, looks like 20 some, almost 20 modules. It just goes to show how complex modern cars are. All right, so the only real faults that we're concerned about of the 16 modules is the electronic brake control module. And let's go ahead and see what the trouble codes are. Let's see, left rear wheel speed sensor circuit erratic. Right rear wheel speed sensor erratic. So both speed sensors in the rear. Interesting. Well, let's take a look at those. Let's get the car up and let's take a look at those. All right, folks, so fast forward a little bit, and what you can see here is a new hub. And so you might be asking yourself, why did we go from getting codes for bad ABS sensors to a new hub? And I'll show you in a second here. Come here. All right, folks, so we got our old hub or our new hub. I mean, they're essentially mechanically the same. However, your ABS sensor screws into the top of the knuckle, and it reads this magnetic metal kind of circle. And as you can see on this new one, it's intact, so I shouldn't have any problem reading it. However, on this old one, as you can see, that little magnetic circle has worn away and broken in pieces. So as this broken magnetic circle rotates around, the sensor's taking a bad reading and sends I don't know signal to the computer, and it's not getting good feedback, so it shuts off ABS and traction control and all that. Hey folks, sorry to cut in. If you were looking for tips on hub removal, the best thing I can tell you is get this hub removal tool. I made a video on using this on this job. I'll link it up there or down in the description below, but this is the biggest thing you can do to help yourself out. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward job. Back to this video. So, the reason that I knew, or well, not that I did know, but the reason I figured out that we had an issue with this is because we got 2 codes for that ABS sensor, and the likelihood of both of them going bad was minimal, and so there just wasn't many other culprits. The wiring looked fine, everything was, ABS pump was fine, so we went ahead and went with new hubs. So I learned something. I didn't I'm used to the kind of metal ring that presses onto the outside of the hub, but I learned about this type of GM design, and these are kind of notorious for failing. So if you have this era CTS or SRX or some of those other GM products, and you're getting a wheel ABS sensor, and if the sensor is good, one way to tell is to switch from left to right, and if the code follows, then you know it's a sensor. But if the code stays on that one specific axle, then you know that this is most likely your culprit. For the first time in a long time, we can start the car here.
Bluetooth. Waiting for connection.
And actually get full use of our display panel. There's our odometer. I don't think the odometer has been visible on this car for about a year plus now. Anyway, so that's a good solid fix. All right, folks, so there you go. For the first time in a long time, this old girl has her traction control and her ABS working and no lights or warnings on the display panel. So the takeaway here is, especially for these GM cars, if you get a code for a wheel speed sensor, don't assume automatically it's a speed sensor. Do some diagnosis and testing. Or if you replace a speed sensor and the code is still there and the lights are still on, it is most very likely your hub with that magnetic ring that I showed you earlier. It's broken up or worn off and the sensor is not reading. So folks, I really hope you learned something from this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and leave some comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching.